The urn is one of two sub-objectives in Deadlock, but despite that is as or sometimes can be more important than the main objectives. Urn serves many purposes and today we'll go over them all. Hello ladies and gents, I'm the Dap Rat, at least for 6 days a week, and today we learn Urn. Starting off, we just gotta cover some stats. Urn first spawns in on yellow lane at 10 minutes, then swaps sides every 5 minutes unless tampered with. The urn starts at 3600 souls at its first spawn and gains 230 souls per minute, but this does not take effect until the urn respawns. This means each urn has a stagnant price that can only be reduced through tampering. Tampering is basically when you pick up the urn and hold it until its respawn window expires, as the game will not rip the urn away from you. Since the urn doesn't respawn, it doesn't increase in value, nor does it swap spawn locations or even drop off locations. Speaking of which, there are 3 drop-off locations per urn, making 6 in total due to the map being relatively mirrored. These drop-off locations are based on the difference in souls between both teams. If a team is behind by 10% or more, they are favored by the urn and will have the drop-off location closer to their base. The only partial exception is the first urn, which needs a 15% difference in order to be weighted to one team or the other. You could always do the math to figure out whose urn is favored, but the easier way is to either check the map or take a gander at the urn itself. A red arrow or red candles represent that the urn is favored towards the enemy. A green arrow or green candles represents that the urn is favored towards your allies. If no candles or arrow is present, then the urn is not favored to one team or another. Now then, there are quite a few videos that show you the fastest way to run the urn, which is great, but to be honest, I never really took the time to learn them, so instead you'll get the runs that I tend to do. Major thing about carrying urn is to do it fast, don't get me wrong, but doing it safely is arguably more important, and in some cases doing it slower can be a hidden benefit, more on that later. The key takeaway is to not follow a run directly if there are enemies blocking your path, since a light melee of any kind will knock the urn out of your hands, which also includes abilities that do melee damage like Viscus's Puddle Punch. The total amount of souls carried in the urn is divvied up by the team, so if the urn gives 3600 souls divided by 6, each player gains 600. Thing is, half of these souls can be robbed from you by the enemy, since delivering the urn spawns half of the bounty as claimable souls. People often forget this, either losing out on literally half of their souls to one guy, or get really big and fat because they remembered this simple mechanic. That's not all though, as delivering the urn grants everyone on your team a passive permanent buff akin to that of the Sinner Sacrifice machines or the Yellow Idols. And even then, we aren't done, as the carrier gains an additional bonus of 35% souls and extra buffs simply for delivering the urn. Something blah blah commentary about tipping culture in America. Anyways, this is not the only thing the urn does for, or rather to, the carrier, as holding the urn comes with some buffs and debuffs. While carrying the urn, you get some pretty cool buffs, including an additional 3.5 meters per second move speed, 30% bullet and spirit resist, as well as immunity to those pesky movement slows. Wowee, just listen to these amazing reviews.
Ever since I started delivering the urn, my games were 1,000 times better.
I kept going on losing streaks until I began delivering the urn. Sugoi!
All I know is if I never deliver the urn, then the enemy might, and I can't let that happen.
Warning, side effects of carrying urn may include being disarmed, feelings of silence, speed capped at 15 meters per second, inability to sprint, inability to use active items, deactivated health regeneration, loss of 1.5% max HP per second, inability to pick up the urn, being watched at all times, and targeted random acts of violence. Consult your team before deciding whether or not you should start delivering the urn today. Moving on, we're going to touch on the more dynamic portions of the urn, which is how it plays into your strategy and overall macro of the match. Yes, the urn can be delivered to give your whole team a big hike in souls, but even past that, the urn has uses. The main use that you'll hear often is to force a team fight. Usually this is done before you want to claim a harder objective like the mid-boss or raiding the enemy base. Thing is though, this usually only goes over well if your team has the better team fight capabilities. Big team wiping moves like Lash or Dynamo Ult make winning the urn team fight relatively easy, and the thing is, if the enemy team doesn't take the bait to the team fight, you get free souls, so it really is a win-win. For the more single pick oriented team, you are likely to engage with the split push approach. This is when you grab the urn as more of a distraction and only have about half your team there to threaten delivering it. Key thing is though that you aren't really committed to actually going in, which can result in the enemy team having all 6 players just kinda sitting around doing nothing. Whilst this is going on, the other half of your team is on the opposite side of the map applying pressure through taking objectives and pushing the base. Eventually the enemy team will realize this and send off a proportionate amount of enemies to deal with it, of which then you can finally swoop in and deliver the urn for free anyways. And with that, I digress. Urn is an amazing source of souls, but the strategies of distraction or ambush is what really gives it value. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. The playlists on your left will teach you more about Deadlock if you wish to improve, while the video on the right is statistically the most interesting thing you could watch right now, provided that YouTube's AI has drunk enough water this month. With that being said, I've been the Dapper Rat, and as always, farewell ladies and gents.